Hi, this is Zach here with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 27th of August. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which still near the record highs, near enough anyway, given that most people who've got any sense are on holiday. And the target that we had around the 93.30 level obviously exceeded through hitting that red May resistance line projection. That's heading up to around 93.70 now, so that's our initial target. We are expecting further gains, and the floor of the channel there from June around 91.70. So hopefully any downside will be no more than 100 points. If we do break down, then the worst case scenario probably is a move down to the 50-day line, but at least that's now above the 9,000 level. The big prize there at the moment is that if we can get through the red May line there, we've got a resistance line projection heading as high as 95.20, and that could be the best case scenario target for the end of next month. But still quite an achievement given all the economic and fundamental issues the market's facing, that we're actually in record territory. Moving on to the DAX, and here you can see that we've got a market that continues to consolidate rather frustratingly between the record high levels, so around 24,600, and the rising 50-day line at 24,000. Not expecting much of a change, although given the way the RSI has now fallen below neutral 50, there is a risk of a test towards 23,000 early in September, perhaps. The Dow next, and here it did what we were hoping it would do, which was to deliver a spike through the 45,000 level. But we've managed to hold on to most of those gains, and that means that we are potentially lined up for a move to the top of that rising May 2024 trend channel for up to 47,500 by the end of next month. Ideally, there's no breakback below the 50-day line, 44,200 in the meantime. Otherwise, it's maybe a bit of a sort of a random walk either side of 45,000 that we might have to get used to. But two RSI rebounds above neutral 50 suggest that we are in a position to head to the top of that channel. Moving on to the cryptos, and we can see that with Bitcoin, we're still trying to find support after that spike towards 124,000, but near to 125,000. The favored scenario at the moment is that we might test the floor of that rising trend channel from March around the 107, 108 level, and that would tie in with the July support area around 105 as well as potential support. Not looking great in the RSI window in the sense that we've had effectively three RSI 50 failures over the last week or so, the latest one to start this week. If there is a massive rug pull, then that would be down towards the $100,000 area, which would be rather ironic given that everyone and their mother is supposed to be buying Bitcoin for treasury purposes. Initial target here, if we do manage to hold above 107, the 50-day line there at 116. Best case scenario by the end of next month is that we have our bottoming out at 107 and then head back up to the top of the channel there. Currently as high as 133,000, but at the moment, has to be admitted, that feels like it is a long way away. Obviously, the smart money suggesting, or smart people suggesting, that there is a switch out of Bitcoin into Ethereum. It's a big Ethereum, the new rock and roll. I added in that uptrend line there yesterday, I believe, and that is interesting in the sense that if we can hold above that, then we really are looking for a move up to the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base from March, and that's heading as high as 5,500, which would be the target for the end of next month, while we remain above that support line there at 4,300. So above 43 to 5,500. On Ethereum, we've also had another RSI 50 rebound. So I suppose if you add in all three we've had basically five in total, but three in the recent past, then we are looking at a market which has a lot of momentum behind it. We're moving on to gold, and here it looks as though things are gradually improving. They have been gradually improving, possibly more on the basis of dollar weakness than anything else. But here you can see that 34.10, the line to break there from back in April. If we do that, then after so many months of a logjam, we are expecting potentially 3,800 by the end of next month. Ideally, we stay above recent support, and 33.20, floor of that channel there from April in the meantime. There's been an RSI 50 plus rebound as well. So this could be the move through 34.10. Onto the stocks, and a bit of a mixture here, a mixture of stocks that have already made it and hit our targets, many of them actually, and possibly not appreciated as much as they could have been, but maybe that will come. Here we've got Artemis, which I haven't looked at for a long time. Initial target here and initial resistance to break around 0.37, the 200-day line. Above that, we're looking for 0.58, perhaps as soon as the end of next month. Ideally, we stay on the right side of 0.33 resistance on the way down. In the meantime, and as you can see there, extended RSI 50 rebound and also a rising 50-day moving average and a sideways shuffle above it. That is one of the strongest setups around. And if you add in the way that we've had a bear trap island reversal as well in July, this stock looks like it could really move. So don't be surprised if it does that. On to Aptamer, which just keeps on relentlessly pumping out positive news. We've had the shares hit the third target there, the third main target there. The first one was around 0.52, second one 0.67, and the third one around 0.9 pence. We managed to blow through that with a gap, which is even more impressive. And above that, we're looking for up to 1.35, which is or was resistance on the way down, as you can imagine. That came from early 2024, so that was the initial peak there in 2024, just towards the 1.4 pence level. So end of day close above 0.9, which was the old spring 2024 resistance. And we are looking towards 1.4. This stage only back below 0.8, really delaying the upside scenario, ongoing upside scenario, which looks very strong indeed, given that we've had the second unfilled gap to the upside in recent days. Lots of people willing the situation at Blencowe to go higher, and it looks like it will now with a one-touch ricochet on the 50-day line that we had, plus an unfilled gap to the upside, and two very strong price action days, opening the low, closing the high, to start this week. Initial target here, obviously the August resistance initial there, around 4.9 pence, and looking for up to 6.2 pence by the end of next month, while we remain above the latest gap area and the 4 pence region. On to Cloudbreak, which has been spectacular in the recent past, and here the proviso yesterday was that we should hold above the 0.7 pence level. In fact, we opened at 0.61, which was not very helpful, but so far above 0.7, which is what we're looking for. We are looking for a move, a relatively straight move up to the 1.75 area, which was closing resistance a couple of years ago. So above 0.7, 1.75, hopefully on tap by the end of next month. Onto a stock which I think has surprised many, probably even the company itself, in terms of the strength that we've had here at Critical Mineral Resources, gapping through the various targets there. That's the fourth target that we've broken there at 3.8 pence. Above that, on an end of day close basis, looking for perhaps a final move up to 5 pence by the end of next month, and looking for that while we hold above the recent broken resistance, 3.6 pence. So hopefully that's enough of a steer on where the stock is going. Very impressive. The other point to say is that perhaps above 5 pence we'll have the proper move, full recovery for the shares, given that the 5 to 6 pence area was the resistance on the way down. On to Empire Metals, where I don't think anyone else apart from this platform has been charting the shares with such earnestness and fondness. Here you can see that we've broken out of the top of that rising trend channel at 43p. Above that, we're looking for 60 pence by the end of next month, which would be spectacular, but certainly in line with the charting setup that we've had over the course of the start of the summer, especially with that break of the early June break of that 50-day line. And we haven't been below that 50-day line ever since. Moving along to Fusion Antibody, which turned out to be a very successful great request. We broke the resistance line there around 6.5 pence, covering the shares from that zone. The initial target then was a rather ambitious looking 14 pence area, and that's been easily cleared. Now we're looking for the upper parallel of that rising trend channel, which at the moment seems to be around the 21 pence area. So above 14, so 714.21, which is not rocket science in terms of the mathematics. Moving along to Fiinu, which has come back from suspension, I believe, this morning. Beautiful V-shaped bull flag there. That suggests we're in a mid-move consolidation. And it also suggests that the minimum on the upside here will be the upper parallel of that rising trend channel at 15 pence, which is currently pointing as high as 24 pence. So above 15, looking for 24 on Fiinu. Double RSI 50 plus rebound there. And that obviously ties in with the V-shaped bull flag as well. So looking very strong on that. Look at the next stock with trepidation, given the historical letdown that this has been. But perhaps one could say that in the current market, every dog, even the dogs, can have their day. We've got Great Western Mining, which looks very good at the moment in the sense that we've had a consolidation above a rising 50-day line near the lows. Very strong price action today and also on Monday, opening at the low, closing at the high. We've had a few of those in the recent past. That does suggest that somebody is on the sly, accumulating the stock. RSI 50 rebound as well. Minimum on the upside looks to be the red resistance line projection. We'll just change the color to around 1.3 pence. Best case would be up to 1.75 pence by the end of next month, while we remain above the 50-day moving average at 0.97. So let's see if that works. Anything can work. Speaking of anything working, we've got Hemogenyx, which has perhaps not been my favorite company, but one obviously has to give everyone a chance in life. And here you can see that the shares have hit that red March resistance line target on the nose, which is always very nice. And here you can see that the nose in that particular situation was £2.27. Above that, looking for a bit more, actually, hopefully up to the 200-day moving average at £2.60. Fundraisers permitting, given that the company likes to have those on a regular basis. If you're a fan of the shares and looking for the best case scenario, it would be up to £3 by the end of next month, which is the top of that gap there. I believe from memory that there is some potentially decent news coming in there in terms of patents, etc., and the FDA. So let's see if at last Hemogenyx gets what it deserves in a positive way. Upside value, while we hold above the bottom of that gap there from March, around £2.10, so above 2.10. Looking for it up to £3 on Hemogenyx. On to Jersey, and here it's a stock which has charted well previously, but had a bit of a dip in the recent past. What's helpful here is the way that we've had a bounce above a rising 200-day line. That's a bull signal. We've also had bullish divergence there, lower low for August, but higher RSI trace. And so bear trap rebound from below 106 July support, above the 50-day line at 120. Looking at the top of the channel here at £2, perhaps as soon as the end of next month. So again, let's see if we really are in bull mode on that situation. Moving on to Kefi, where all the negative vibes seem to have gone quiet now. Maybe people have given up on throwing mud at the company. V-shaped bull flag resting above a double unfilled gap to the upside. Doesn't get better than that. Also, we've had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 RSI 50 plus rebounds. That suggests that the minimum on the upside here, again, borrowing fundraisers, which I don't think we need anymore on Kefi, up to 0.79 by the end of next month. Ideally, there's a decent end of day close above 0.65 for today, just to get the situation going. Oriole is next, and here you can see that we're trading either side of the old target there, which is 0.48. Above that on an end of day close basis, looking for 0.67 and looking for that by the end of next month. Ideally, there's no end of day close back below the old resistance there from early 2024, around 0.4 pence, which adds up to, well, ties in with today's intraday low, 0.42. On to another situation which has been highlighted here for many weeks and months, so which is Pensana. Here you can see that rather than getting tired, it looks like the shares are actually going for another leg to the upside. Again, we've got those telltale signs of the 1, 2, 3 RSI 50 plus dips there, and that tends to be a sign of a bull market, as you can see from basically May and June as well. Looking for this stock while it's above 80 pence to head up as high as £1.17, probably even £1.20 by the end of next month. Not quite sure what would do that, but obviously one would have been surprised in April if one had been told that the shares could get up to 90 pence by July. So looking very, very strong indeed, and well done to holders. Finishing off with Power Metal, which looks as though, given the rise in resources stock, the mini resources stocks. It looks like this stock will finally have its day. Hopefully in the autumn. The old peak in basically last year, 24 pence. We're looking for that again, but perhaps as soon as the end of next month, while we're above the 16 pence area, which was basically broken February resistance. Above 16, looking for 24 on power metal, and you can see couple of RSI 50 rebounds there in the last week, and the unfilled gap to the upside, which is very important, as is the U-shaped breakout, or the U-shaped bull flags, I tend to call it as well. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.